Welcome to Open Marketing, and today we are talking about one of my favorite topics, gear. We are talking about camera gear, lighting gear, and audio gear. Now, you can really go into the weeds when it comes to the type of camera that you have, the lighting that you use, or the audio that you use, the microphone that you use, right? You can very easily spend a whole lot of money and it can just put you in the deep end. But again, I don't want to have you go into the weeds, but especially when you start taking content creation seriously and you're really trying to elevate your production value and things of that nature, you're going to want to make sure that you have a really good camera. You want to make sure you have really good lighting, and you want to make sure that you have a great audio. Now, let me tell you first, I'm going to go from what's most important for your videos and your content all the way to what's not necessarily as important, but still going to help your production value with your videos. Number one, your audio is most important. The rule of thumb in the media producing industry is that audio is 50% of the experience. The reason being, if I had really bad visual right now, like if you were seeing me and it was like scratchy and it was just blurry and that type of stuff, right? You would be more likely to, let's say, tolerate that as opposed to really bad audio, just because the audio is really, really good with the mic that I'm using. And we'll get more into this. But right now you're happy because you can really hear me. Now listen to this when I'm not using a microphone. So, hey, this is me talking to you, just using the audio directly coming from the camera. Now, you might still hear me, but it definitely is not as nice as when I had the mic. Now, let's go back to the mic so you have a really good experience with us. Okay, so did you notice the difference? You see how now, like, I really feel present with you. Like, I feel like I'm right there, right? That's the power of really having really, really good audio. So I'm going to give you about 2 or 3 suggestions on just some microphones that I think you should use depending on your budget. Like I said, you can go super, super high and expensive with this stuff, but I'm also going to give you some pretty practical things that don't cost as much, that they will be helpful to you. So what you're listening to me use right now is probably the most famous microphone in just podcasting and media right now, and it is called the Shure SM7B. It is a dynamic microphone, and it is honestly just one of the best. I got it because of, its quality and everything like that. But this is an expensive mic. This mic comes in right now, and I'm going to show it on the screen. You'll see it. But this mic comes in at about $400. Again, if you are really serious and you really, let's say you have a podcast, or, you're just at that level with everything that you're doing, then this makes a whole lot of sense, right? If you are really, deep into the content creation, you have an audience and everything like that, this might make sense. But if you're someone that's like, I'm just starting off, but I really do want to take it to the next level, my next suggestion would be, and this is honestly one of my personal favorites aside from this mic, it's called, and it'll show up on the screen there, it's a Zoom dynamic microphone. There's a company called Zoom, and they make really, really great quality gear. It's the ZDM-1 microphone. It's a really, really great mic, great quality. I use it for my podcast, and it's just great. And it comes in at about $50. And right now it's on sale. At least that's what it says here on Amazon. There will be links to all this below, but the normal price for it is $80. So think about that, the difference. And again, both of them, like, this is still a better mic. But when you think about just the price difference, again, paying $400 for this as opposed to getting really quality sound from the Zoom dynamic mic for much, much less, is still worth it if you want to up your production level. Now, also something to note, especially when it comes to your audio interfaces and just your microphone that you're using, it really does depend on the type of content that you are creating. So what I mean by that is, if you are basically stationary like this and you're shooting talking head videos, and this is like for your YouTube channels and things of that nature, then you might want to invest in these types of microphones, the types of microphones where, it's the mic is right by your mouth. It's really catching every single word. You really hear your voice, the bass in your voice and the tone of your voice and everything like that. But if you're more run and gun, got to shoot it really quick because I got things to do, if you're in that type of situation, you're probably going to want to go with the Rode Wireless Go. Okay, now this microphone comes in at about $265, and then you're going to have to also purchase the lavalier wearable microphone. So that's basically the mic that'll clip, on like your collar or your shirt or something like that. That is great for more run and gun style type of microphones. Now, like I said, this is like audio is the most important thing. So I would say if you are looking to spend, but you're really on a budget, I would say it is smart to really start with audio. So spend the $300 on your audio. You'll really notice a difference in your videos. And more importantly, your potential clients will notice a difference in your videos. But I would suggest if you're really more run and gun on the go, or even just recording by yourself, you really can use either types of mics. In terms of, using this type of mic that's for more podcast, stationary, talking head type of videos, or more, run and gun. I'm walking, I'm driving, that type of thing. With the Rode Wireless Go. Like I said, the Rode Wireless comes in at about $265. So like I said, descriptions, the links to these items that you can get if you want to get them, will be in the description below. And double check me on all this because there are so many good mics to use. And if you want help with this, of course, just leave me a question and I will certainly help you out with that. But that's really it for the mics. That's where you can really just get really good audio. Again, audio is 50% of your listeners and viewers' experience. So you want to make sure that it's showing up really, really well. For lighting, the second most important thing is your lighting, because you really do want to show up well. Okay. So there's always going to be two types of lights. All right. Well, technically three, but you really only need two for sure. Now, with the room dynamic that I'm in, I'm really only able to get one, but I was able to do some tricking up and things of that nature. Like right now, I have a key light that's here on me. Okay. And I can actually turn this off just so you guys see the difference as to why you want a key light. Let's see, let me make sure I pick the right one. Right. So this is what I look like if I didn't have lighting. Now I have what's called my fill light. That's what you see that's on. This light that is behind me is essentially the light that is separating me from the background. Okay. Now, usually when you're dealing with situations, if I have more depth behind me, and I don't want to go too deep in the weeds on this of explaining it, but you basically want a fill light that's basically going to separate you from your background. And then you're going to want your key light that basically just lights your face so people can see your beautiful face. Okay. So right now, the lights that I have here at my desk is I have Elgato key lights. All right. Elgato key lights. They're really great to use. They're easy to maneuver, especially, with apps on the computer, apps on your phone and things of that nature. So really just easy. If you're, again, depends on the type of content you're shooting. So if you're shooting, just kind of quick at your desk, these are great. They have like the clamps that basically go onto the desk. So that way you're able to, again, just easily, click on the computer. Hey, need this on, need it off, just really quick type of stuff. Another suggestion of a light, if you're shooting more talking head videos specifically for podcasts, and this light could work for podcasts. So, be clear, like there's no one size fits all with this stuff, but just some suggestions. I would also suggest the Aperture Amaran 60D. It is a great Cobb day light that will really just help with, like I said, just it's the main key light, right? It's just another version of the main light that's on me. Now, the thing with this light, and you'll probably have seen this before on other people, if you've paid attention to their YouTube channels or whatever, you're going to need to buy what's called a light dome. And so basically it's like that big oval or rectangular box thing with the egg crates on it. That's essentially what you're going to need. And what that does, the purpose of that is to provide light on your face, but it also softens the light. So that way the light isn't so harsh on your skin. So that way you're not seeing like every piece of your skin, where it's just nice and soft. Again, just showing off that pretty face so people see you and eventually do deals with you. And so again, that'll be here on the screen somewhere. I'll put it there. But basically the Amaran, the 60D Amaran comes in at about 170, and then the light dome that I told you about comes in at about 100. So you're spending about 270, about 270-ish, 280 on that light. And also I forgot to mention for the Elgato key lights, just to really get your main two lights that you need, you're going to be spending about 180 a light. So you're talking, what's that math? About 360. I hope I got that math right, but about 360. Nothing too crazy, but it's really just a matter of if you're taking this serious. If you're really serious about, just building your personal brand, building your audience and things of that nature, you want to make sure that your production level really matches. Okay, we get to the fun part. Okay, so I've told you guys about, again, giving you guys some audio microphone suggestions. I've given you some suggestions on lights. Now I'm going to give you some camera suggestions. Okay, I'm going to give you some camera suggestions. Now, all of you, more than likely, except for Android users too, you have the best camera that you can use if you are just trying to make it work. And that is your good old iPhone. Okay, your iPhone has the ability to shoot excellent 4K quality video, and you can use that in order to elevate your production level. Now, you want to make sure that the settings are right. Okay, so one of the things I'm encouraging you to do right now is, number one, depending on the type of content that you're creating, if you're good, depending on the type of phone, because I have an 11 Max, I didn't necessarily make the jump to the 14 yet, but for me, I don't really use my front camera as much, because if you don't know this by now, your front camera isn't as good as the back camera. So if you're looking to up your quality and you just want to keep shooting with your iPhone, just flip that bad boy around. Okay, just flip that bad boy around so that way you can use the better cameras that are on the back of it. But then also you should go to your settings in your camera, and then you basically just want to switch your settings. If it's on HD 30 frames per second or HD, you want to switch it to 4K at, I believe it's 29.97 frames per second. That's about the normal rate, or it might be 24. But you want to basically switch it to that 4K at about 30 to 24, around that frames per second, just so that way you get that nice cinematic look with your videos that people would love to look at. Okay, but if you're like, okay, I want more than just my iPhone, I want to go to the next level, I want to get like a real camera, then what I would suggest this for everybody, especially if you're just starting out, is the Canon EOS M50 Mark II. Okay, the Canon EOS M50 Mark II. Now, this camera comes in at $600. I think it's a great deal based on the price and just what you get for that price. It's a great camera. I don't have the Mark II, but I have the Mark I, and it is an amazing camera. It was the really the first camera before I have the one that you're watching me on right now. But really great camera. Like you will definitely notice a difference in your production value with this camera. Like I said before, the description to this camera is in the link to this camera is in the description below. So check it out just so you can see. But yeah, that camera comes in at about $600. Again, it's an investment. Like, let me be very clear. Like, this is an investment. I don't want you to think I'm just throwing around these numbers. One, as if like I wouldn't spend the money, because I've spent the money. I have spent the money. So I'm trying to tell you, here's how you don't make the mistakes like I did of buying a bunch of gear and not actually end up using it. But here are some ways in which you're able to just really streamline your process to just creating amazing videos. But that's the first suggestion. Now, if you're like, well, I'm okay with spending the money, I want the biggest bang for buck, I am a Canon guy, as I suggested before to you. Now, I know Sony is also great for videos, but I personally just like Canon. It's just a preference. But if you want something that is really going to be like head and shoulders above, you can use what you're watching me on right now, which is a Canon R7. Okay, it's a Canon EOS R7, and it is personally, in my opinion, like the best camera, aside from when you just go into like the C-level cameras on Canon, where those are like more cinema cameras. But in terms of just, being able to stream and, take pictures, take videos and everything like that, the R7 is a perfect choice. I have so many options. It's a high quality, super easy to use, super light, easy to manage. Obviously, you're dealing with lenses and everything like that, which can get expensive, but depending again on the type of content that you're using. So if you're someone that is looking into the talking heads and you really want a real camera, you really just need a lens that can go between, I would say, 16 millimeters to about 35. Like, that's about the proper focal lengths for talking head videos. So that way you can really show up amazingly for your people on social media and on just whatever platform that you're on. So those are just my suggestions. Like I said, do your own research. If you have any questions about what cameras to use, which lighting to get, which audio microphones to get, just where you're at, if you want any help, please let me know. If you want help setting this stuff up, because I can tell you, you can have amazing gear, but if you don't know how to use it, you're not actually going to be getting the full potential out of it. So if you want help in just setting it up, let me know. I do have that as a service of actually really setting up people's studios and backdrops and everything like that for them. But like I said, do your research on just what you want to do, just what your vision is in terms of how you want to create content and everything of the sort. I'm here to help you every single step of the way. But yeah, check it out. Like I said, everything that I mentioned, everything that I suggested is in the description below for you to get a link. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, be sure to leave a comment. Let me know. I'll get back to it. You can contact me at info@10-media.com. So that way we can work together, because I'd love to help you and just take away the stress of your marketing. And of course, if you know anybody that would benefit from being in this open marketing, you should invite them, because this is helpful. I hope that by now you realize I'm giving you gems. I'm giving you help with things that people usually pay thousands of dollars for, and you're getting it totally for free. And this is, again, just for ambitious real estate agents who have a passion for helping people. So if I'm able to help you help people, then we're doing our job correctly. So I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys next month.